What's up, everybody, and welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy Kenny, and this is my review of this phenomenal documentary that I saw on Netflix. And the name of this documentary is Shania Twain, Not Just a Girl. Shout out to my best friend Kenneth Tukes of the K2 Spot. Check out his video channel. He was the one that told me about this documentary that I needed to check it out because I am a huge Shania Twain fan. And she really is a trailblazer and an innovator in the field of country. And I was so honored to finally see this documentary. And, you know, she's also a huge icon in the LGBTQIA community. And I've been a fan of hers, you know, growing up. And I loved seeing her take on country. I mean, she paved the way for Avril Lavigne, Taylor Swift, and all of these other artists who are now, you know, merging country with pop. She was the first to do that, and her image and her rock edge really made her stand out amongst all of the icons like Dolly Parton, Reba McEntire, Tammy Wynette, and many others. She had her own. She had her own lane, her own path, and she is one of the best-selling female artists of all time. So, this documentary, she talks about her upbringing, you know, growing up in a very violent household because her father and mother, you know, her father used to beat her mother, and she would, you know, was surrounded by all of this turbulence and domestic violence. And she said that one way that she was able to deal with it was focusing in on her music and accomplishing her dreams and aspirations as a country singer. And then we see that she really started singing at a very early age, where at times her mom would sneak her out to take her to bars where people can hear her, you know, after the last call, you know, where they were no longer serving alcohol, even though people had alcohol on the table. But she would go up there and would sing, and, you know, how this began to open doors for her. She actually met this country singer because she's from Canada, and she met this other country singer named Mary, who was very well known in Canada, and Mary became her mentor, later on her manager, you know, of her career. And sadly, she dealt with the tragedy of losing both of her parents. And I think at the time she was a teenager. I think she was 15 or 14 at the time when both of her parents died in a car accident, which now left her in a space where she had to become a guardian and a provider for her younger siblings. And she said at that time she wanted to quit music, but Mary helped her to land this job at a resort where she was not only able to still pursue her dreams and her aspirations, but was able now to earn an income where she can provide for her siblings. And how her first album was pretty much centered around doing the traditional style of country. And Shania is edgy. You know, she loves rock. You know, she loves, you know, pop music. One of her favorite singers is Gladys Knight. She's one of my faves as well. So that was cool that, you know, she loved Gladys Knight's voice, and that she wanted to approach country from a different perspective. And we started to kind of see that in her second album, you know, and I remember the song What Make You Say That. You know, the video, we see her, you know, with a midriff, and she's showing off her sex appeal because Shania is a very beautiful woman, and she's now playing into the image of what she wants. And then later she meets Mutt Lange, who's this phenomenal rock producer. They end up becoming collaborators, and then they end up falling in love and getting married. And the two of them as a partnership created some of the best music in country music history, and as well as pop. And we see that, you know, within her second album, she started to show more of that country rock edge. And then by the time of her third album, which really took off. I mean, because she has 3 diamond albums. No female artist has ever accomplished that. And, that's when, my generation, and when she really crossed over into mainstream pop. And at first, Mary, who was her mentor, was her manager. But then once her career started to hit into orbit, that's a lot of pressure that you have to constantly be on. And Mary pretty much didn't have that wheelhouse to continue. So Mary decided to step down being her manager. But her and Mary are still very close. Mary is still a part of her life. And that was beautiful to see. That Mary is still plays an important role in who Shania Twain is and who Shania Twain has now become. And definitely, that third album has some of the bops like Feel Like a Woman, You're Still the One I Want. And that album really changed the game for her, because then I saw her, doing the Divas Live concert with Aretha Franklin, Carole King, Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, and Shania literally held her own. And that is when I was like, Shania is that girl. That is that girl. And then I also loved her videos. I loved that she used her sexiness, she used her beauty, and was literally setting trends. She was literally a woman who owned her femininity and used it as power, because femininity is power. Femininity gave birth to all of this, including us men. So to see her own her femininity, and that her music and her collaboration with Mutt really showcased and really pushed her true authentic self, she just literally hit the moon, and she was selling out. She was selling albums like crazy, selling millions, and then becoming like a world-renowned artist. And, she's known all over the world and was selling out shows all across the globe. And we literally see her career once she starts owning, because one, she's a great songwriter, but then she's also a good arranger, and she's also a good image setter. And that's where the LGBTQIA really, made her an icon, because we loved her image. She wasn't afraid to show her sexiness and wasn't afraid to show her beauty. And it just reigned in everything she did as far as the visual aspect of an artist. So we really see how that just catapulted her into mainstream world fame and fortune. And then she also shares her heartbreak, when she contracted Lyme disease, and how that affected her voice and affected her ability to perform at the time. And then while she's going through that, she hears the devastating news that her husband, Mutt, has been cheating on her, but worse, he was cheating on her with her best friend. And I can't imagine how devastating that can be. To know that the man that you have built your life with, the man that you have had a child with, because they have a son, and somebody that you build an empire with, could betray you in the worst way. But the thing is, her second husband was actually the husband of her best friend. And I think they found love in each other, because both of them had felt betrayed, they felt misused, and they felt disrespected. And I think in that space, when the two of them connected, they found love in one another, and they're still thriving. They're still married, and they're a beautiful couple. And it was just unfortunate that, her and Mutt didn't work out, but then yet they exploded in the worst way. But she decided to pick herself back up. She began to get the courage to sing again, and the artist that really helped her to gain back her confidence was Lionel Richie. And she showcased that, and her and Lionel Richie are very close friends, and they did like a remake of the song Endless Love, and it was a huge hit. And that, I think, is what gave her the confidence to get back into music and to get back to doing what she loves, which is performing. And it was like a really good documentary because she is not just a girl. She's a phenomena. You know, she's a trendsetter. She's an innovator. She's an inspiration. And I really did enjoy this documentary. I think it was superbly done. I love the fact that she was involved in it. You know, she was telling her story, telling about some of her hardships, some of her triumphs, you know, and just really sharing who she truly is. And I thought it was a great documentary. So I definitely encourage you to go to Netflix, check out Shania Twain, Not Just a Girl. You're definitely going to enjoy this documentary, and it's going to even make you even more appreciate the artistry that is Shania Twain. So that's what I have, y'all. Get down in those comments and let me know your thoughts. So until next time, everybody, take care.